Alrighty guys, Azek here, bringing you guys another Dragon Ball Legends TOP guide video. So before we actually go into this, I want to go ahead and say thank you guys for 3K subs. I actually did not expect this at all. The amount of growth that the channel have seen over this past couple of days is just absolutely insane. Right as of right now, I have I am just at a loss for words. I just want to go ahead and say thank you guys. So that being said, let's go ahead and hopefully we can go and give you guys a successful guide video so you guys can succeed in TOP, because I know it is very difficult, especially for someone like, if you guys are keeping up with the leagues and stuff like that, it gets increasingly harder and harder, right? As of right now, you can see in the top left corner, I am in the S League, so we are going to be starting seeing these 5 fist stages, which can be, dude, they're like so tanky, they can hit very, very hard. You have to be really careful, you have to be really, really strategic about all of this stuff, right? So that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the first team that I have right here. The team that I am using is Regeneration. Now, my Regeneration is not that great compared to the others, right? This is basically getting me by, and that's basically like the goal of this right here, right? My MVPs are definitely going to be Baby and Fat Buu, the Zenkai Fat Buu. As you guys do know, I think I've showed them off before in previous guide videos, they do heal, and the way that they heal is they heal to the block to the left of you, and they heal to the block to the right of you. So that's why you have them positioned like this. This is probably like the best positioning for them, right? Because you want them to heal every member to the left and to the right of you, as well as healing their own selves and stuff like that, right? And so basically what you do here is when you filter your characters and you're looking for your Regeneration team, you click on Regeneration, you click on tier 1, and you go off of that for the most part. If most of your characters are in tier 1, then you're pretty much good to go, especially if you're looking at stars. This game mode is heavily star reliant, right? And again, we will talk about the MVP of the Regeneration team, which is Bootanks, who is a tier 1 unit. He's able to go ahead and get a blue card on the start of turn, and he's probably going to be attacking first, so you could potentially snipe a red unit right off the jump, which is actually massive, right? And then on top of that, you have this LF Piccolo, who kind of does a similar ability, but instead of on the first turn, it's a little bit dampened, right? It's on the start of the third turn, but it's still good nonetheless. Getting a guaranteed blue card, potentially just killing someone right off the bat, is awesome. It's just probably like one of the most broken abilities in TOP. The only tricky thing about this is that you kind of want to line up your targets, because you can select your targets. You kind of want to line it up to the point where you know that this Piccolo is going to be able to target a purple unit on the start of the third turn, so potentially he could just go ahead and focus all of his damage on that unit, right? The rest of the units that you kind of just want to fill it up with people that have self-sustain, right? This Piccolo is able to go ahead and transform. He's going to put debuffs on the enemies. He's going to be able to decrease their own damage taken when he does transform, and he's also able to go ahead and he just applies a bunch of stuff, right? He does a bunch of good stuff. Unfortunately, he does not heal himself, so you have to be a little bit careful with him. Some people bring in the Majin 21 instead of him, but I don't think the Majin 21 is actually tier 1 in this case and scenario. I've seen a lot of people bring in the Red Janemba. I've seen people bring in the Buuhan. The Buuhan can also be really, really good, right? It just really depends. There's a lot of good units for here. If you guys are not going to build a full tier 1 team, you guys are going to trickle in some tier 2 units, because that's okay too. As long as you have the stars on them, right? Then I do definitely suggest that you guys probably should go ahead and just make sure that you guys are limiting yourself to maybe 2 to 3 tier 2 units, because after that you are really going to start hurting your score a lot. And so you can see right here, I kind of was experimental a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I have like 3 tier 2 units in here. So I have the Fat Buu, I have the Baby, and I have the LR Piccolo, because I kind of wanted to see what he could do. I mean, he's alright, right? He's decent. I definitely kind of do regret bringing him. I definitely do regret bringing this Janemba. Even though this Janemba is a tier 1 unit, I think I probably should have just invested into someone else, because he is taking a lot of damage. Although I don't think he has a bad kit at all by any means. He's just taking a lot of damage. Maybe he's just outdated. Sometimes the units are like, they're kind of like hit or miss, right? With Bootanks, he's awful in PvP, but in this game mode, he's like a godsend, right? And so we can actually compare this to someone on the leaderboard. Alright, so you can see on the leaderboard, I am at rank 831. That's not terrible, but it's not necessarily well, you know, it's decent, right? Like I said, my only goal for these is to go ahead and make it into the top 6K. That way I can go ahead and reap the 1K benefits, right? And so let's go ahead and look at the top 1K. We can look at the number 1 player. He's actually playing a Regeneration team right here. And so this is the team that he has built up right here. So he does have the LF Piccolo. He does have DKP, the yellow DKP at Zenkai 7. He has the transforming DKP, the red Janemba, the green Buuhan, and he has the Omega Shenron. These guys are all tier 1 units, I believe. Or Yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys are all tier 1 units, but he does have Baby in here just in case he needs to start doing some healing, right? I think that's definitely a smart move. He has the Boo Tanks as well, because bringing in Boo Tanks is just a no-brainer, right? You can also go ahead and see this guy right under him. He basically kind of like copied his team a little bit, right? And I think that's fine too. I think that's like one of the safest options here, is basically like copying and pasting teams from the leaderboard. But it's always hard to do that, especially if you don't have the exact same teams, right? So let's go ahead and move on to the second team of the video. Alrighty, for the second team of the video, we have Vegeta Family. So I have it filtered right here by tier 1. You can see there's a lot of Vegeta Family units in here. I want to go ahead and list off some of the ones that I think are extremely good. I think the best one, the absolute MVP of the Vegeta Family team, is the Angel Vegeta. If you guys have him at high stars, you guys might want to invest in either a Saiyans team or a Vegeta Family team, because this guy, he heals up your entire board by 2%, right? There's a lot of really, really good units on here. We can go ahead and go further into their kits in just a second. Alright, so right here we have the Angel Vegeta, right? I wanted to go ahead and just show his TOP ability, where he has the You Are Number 1 ability. So at the start of the third turn, it activates your special action, and you're going to be able to restore all of your allies' health by 3%, as well as a 25% to your damage inflicted. That's absolutely massive. If you can heal someone on your team, if you can heal everyone on your team, that's already going to be like a Z tier unit or Z tier unit for TOP, right? So you have this guy, and then you also have what's it called? This guy right here, who's more for Saiyans, but I guess he still can fit under the Vegeta Family tag. He also has a really good ability as well, where he's going to be able to restore his health by 7%, activates twice, 20% to damage inflicted, as well as 20% to minus 20% to damage received. So he's going to be able to tank, he's going to be able to heal. There's going to be a lot of good stuff. I don't really have either of those guys at high stars, so it's a little bit unrealistic for me, but I can definitely see a lot of you guys using him as well. And since you guys are going to be using this Angel Vegeta more than likely on a Vegeta Family team, you guys are definitely going to be wanting to run a blue unit alongside him. This Trunks is a very good option for that, right? Although he doesn't buff Hybrid Saiyan, or I mean, he doesn't buff Vegeta Family, he still is able to go ahead and do a lot of good stuff, right? He's going to be buffing Hybrid Saiyans at the very least, and he's a Zenkai unit, right? This is only if you have him at Zenkai 7. Since I only have him at Zenkai 1, I don't know if I would actually bring this guy in, but if you do have him at Zenkai 7, he's still going to perform really, really good, right? He still has supportive capabilities, where he's going to be able to get 50% to his own blast damage, and he's able to go ahead and nullify all debuffs on your allies within range right here. So you can see right here, he's going to be nullifying his own debuffs, and to the left and to the right of him in that order right there, right? And then, so another good unit you guys might want to consider is this Transforming God Vegeta as well. He has a really good Z ability. Z abilities are extremely important in this game mode. And then he has like some decent stuff, right? He doesn't have absolutely crazy stuff, but he does have damage reduction, which again is really, really good. I was heavily considering using Vegeta Family right here, right? And so that being said, and another unit that I want to go ahead and talk about is this guy. So this guy, another unit that's not necessarily amazing in PvP, but in TOP, like, he puts a bunch of debuffs on your enemies, as well as he has regeneration again, or he got a buff against regeneration. And you're going to see in a quick second why that is so good. Alright, so one thing I've noticed about TOP is that basically you see a lot of teams from the previous seasons, right? Last season we had androids kind of like dominate the ladder, right? And so for this season you kind of see androids / regeneration kind of just up there as well. You can see these fights that I have was androids right here, right? Androids, and then you have more androids, and then you have what? More androids. And so the only good thing about this is that androids has a lot of regeneration units included on it as well, because of Cell, because of Android 21, because of all that good stuff, right? You see it right here, like there's 3 regeneration members, and so that Heat Dome Trunks is going to perform really well against teams like this, I feel like. Alrighty, so the next team that I wanted to go ahead and talk about is the Hybrid Saiyans. So you can go ahead and see I have it filtered right here by Hybrid Saiyans, by Tier 1 Hybrid Saiyans. So there's actually a lot of good options here. You got some Zenkais on here as well. You have both the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. This is pretty much like a Zenkai heavy team though. I'm not gonna lie. Zenkais do help a lot. So if you guys do have access to these Zenkais, definitely do use them. I've seen people have success with them even at Zenkai level 2, but that's just, you know, it definitely is hard to use them. Another good Zenkai unit on here is the Gotenks. Gotenks may be buffing Fusion Warriors, but he's still a Zenkai unit. He's going to be able to be beefy. He's going to be able to do damage. I think one of the MVPs of this tag, though, is Goten right here. Alright, so we can see, look at Goten's abilities and stuff like that. So what he does is he's able to go ahead, he buffs allies. So 20% to damage inflicted by allies in range. 20% is a lot, right? So he's going to be buffing the top left block and the top right block as well. And then he also gets a guaranteed special move. So as I've talked about it before, getting a guaranteed special move is absolutely massive. So at the start of the second turn, he's going to be able to do this. He gets a guaranteed special move. You're going to be taking out a purple unit for free, which is pretty damn big, right? And then also on top of that, he heals. He restores his own health by 10%. So Goten is definitely like a must-have on the Hybrids team. Another unit for the Hybrids team that is actually really good and has a really good Z ability is the Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, who's going to be able to give base strike and blast defense, and he has a ton of damage reduction. So minus 30% to damage reduction upon first turn, and he's going to be able to go ahead and get some 30% to damage inflicted for one turn, as well as a supportive capability where he buffs all your allies in range by 20% as well. So you're going to see the damage rack up with this guy for sure, especially on your Hybrids team. Again, this is someone that we already talked about right here, is this Heat Dome Trunks. He's going to perform well against those regeneration units, and he's going to fit absolutely beautifully on the Hybrids team as well. And we can actually go ahead and see some examples of some other people's Hybrids teams in the top rankings in TOP. Alright, so we have this guy who's actually rank 6, so you can see his Hybrids team is kind of set up, kind of like I said before, Goten is definitely like a mainstay in the team, right? Goten is definitely guaranteed to be on this team. You have that Super Saiyan 2 purple Zenkai Gohan, right? And then you also have this Trunks, so this is someone that I didn't talk about, but I remember his kit. He actually is able to buff the whole board of Hybrid Saiyans, right? I think he buffs Hybrid Saiyans, he buffs Super Saiyans, and he buffs and Saiyans, I'm pretty sure, because he is from the movie, right? And so he has a really good ability as well. He does have the Zenkai 7 Red Trunks on the backup, as well as the Gohan, who are not bad units at all. And then he has the Heat Dome Trunks. So this is another team that you guys can potentially just copy and paste, right? Once you get to know the kits, it's going to be a lot easier. These are most of the teams that I'm seeing in the TOP right now. Alright, so this is the last team that I wanted to mention, which is probably the most versatile team of TOP, is Saiyans. So you have right here, like I said before, the Super Saiyan, or the Angel Vegeta, the base Angel Vegeta is an absolute godsend in this game mode. Like I said, he's going to be able to heal your entire board at the start, or at the end of the second turn, or the end of the third turn, I forget which one it is. And you just have such a wide range of options right here. Like you have this ROC Goku, who's a tier 1 unit, this Bardock is a tier 1 unit, and this Vegeta is an amazing, like he's probably like up there in terms of like maybe like high S tier, Z tier for TOP units as well, because he heals himself. He has really good tanking capabilities. This Saiyan Saga Goku is tier 1 as well. I don't think the Ultra Goku is tier 1, but I could be wrong on that. And then for your backups, instead of some of these guys, I definitely would recommend Raditz. Raditz is also a tier 1 character, or maybe even the yellow movie Bardock could be good in here as well. So this is another team that you guys can definitely consider bringing into the TOP. So those are my top 4 teams right there, basically, right? I don't think that's bad at all. I feel like that's a lot more options than we usually have. Generation, Vegeta family, Hybrids, and Saiyans. And actually, I wanted to go ahead and show you guys an oddball team that I found that's actually doing well in the top 1K. Alright, so this is definitely like one of the weirdest teams that I found, but it looks like they're doing really good. Are really good. They're definitely doing better than me, right? They're ranked 138, and this is the team that they're running. So they're running the Goten, who I already told you guys is the MVP of Hybrids. They're running the Angel Vegeta alongside the Goten, who's basically the MVP of Vegeta family, as well as Saiyans, and they're also running the Red Android 18, who's also extremely good for this, right? Because she also is going to be able to heal. So she's going to be able to heal this Trunks up here. She's going to be able to heal the Trunks to the right. It's just all that good stuff. You're getting a ton of healing. You're getting a ton of supportive capabilities just constantly over and over and over. And so I feel like that's why this guy's having a lot of success with this as well. So that's something that you guys can invest into if you guys can actually build this team right here. You can see he does have Zenkai units on backup, but on his main field, he doesn't have no Zenkai units right there, right? So I feel like this is definitely very viable for a lot of you guys out there. Definitely let me know if I missed any teams in the comments down below. Let me know if there's any like tips and tricks that you guys think that I don't know of. As of right now, the only tips that I could give is that just keep it in mind, keep your team like look at your battle panels, right? Like look at this, like I said before, it looks like androids is kind of dominant this one, because you can go ahead and look through all these. You're getting a ton of like android fights going on. It seems like almost all the 5-fight stages, or yeah, the 5-fist stages are regeneration or androids as of right now. So it definitely gets some regeneration counters, android counters, and stuff like that, right? It definitely seems to be going off of last season. What are the most teams, or what teams were used the most, right? And then, as always, make sure you guys are looking at the layout bonus. I always talk about this in every TOP guide video. Look at the layout bonus. Look at who you're targeting and stuff like that, right? Because that's going to help you tremendously, right? And then you have to do your best not to lose your consecutive win bonus, all that good stuff. These are pretty much like the general rules now, right? Make sure you guys are clicking who you think is going to be the biggest threat. Like, example, if you're running a lot of blue units, then obviously this is going to be really rough for you, right? This guy has 3 green units, so I'm probably going to want to target the greens first and fill up with some more purples on my field, right? As long as I do have a lot of purples available to me. Or you might even consider just moving to a different space. Although you are going to lose points by doing that, right? You always kind of want to go for the highest fifth stage so you can go ahead and secure the most points. So that being said, I think that's it for today's video. If you guys have any more questions, definitely let me know in the comments down below. If you guys want further help with TOP, I do have a channel in my Discord that is specifically for TOP help. So if you guys are interested in any of that, definitely feel free to join the Discord server in the description down below. If you guys enjoyed the content, definitely leave a like, a comment, or maybe even consider hitting that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!